Hello, anti-war supporters of the true anti-war movement. This is my alternate channel, anti-war. And this is Straw-Ber-Rita, the Ritas Straw-Ber-Rita. Interesting though, and I bought this in the variety pack. This one says Bud Light Lime Straw-Ber-Rita. This is the old label. They must have had some labels left over, and they just slapped them on there because the cap says the Ritas. Crazy, huh? It says on the website. This is the tapintoyourbeer.com. Sweet. Sweet. It's Straw-Ber-Rita. This tasty margarita is red. Should be a comma there. Red, not just because strawberries are red, but also because red is the color of love. Your love of strawberry sweetness paired with classic margarita flavor. 297 calories. So you're eating it more than drinking it. And they have the same exact statement on the Rita's website. 8% alcohol introduced in 2012. And look at the ingredients, the lovely ingredients. Water, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, barley malt, citric acid, malic acid, sodium citrate, natural flavorings, colorings added, caramel color, red number 40, sucralose, which is like Splenda, and hop extract. Can't get much healthier than that. Nice pop. Would I buy this again? No. 231st day of 2019. A little thin white head of foam. And it's red. Pink maybe with the light hitting it, but it's red with the light. When you're looking at it from with the light behind it, it's red more than pink, but the light shining through it, it's pink. Look, you ever bought one of those knee-high or a Faygo or I don't know, what's those other brands of the red pop, the strawberry soda pop, soda, soft drink? Some people around in Louisiana, in New Orleans say red Coke. Give me a red Coke. Well, it's not Coca-Cola. It's not even made by the same company. And they look at you like, what? Coca-Cola. Coke is a generic term like Kleenex. No. It's a specific brand, but you can't tell them anything. I have these hog's head cheese on crackers. Let's see. Put some Louisiana Cajun Chef hot sauce on it because this hot hog's head cheese is not really hot. On the main channel, this morning, I did Buchanan's Deluxe Blended Scotch Whiskey versus Chivas Regal 12 years. Chivas got murdered. I knew that was going to happen. I knew Buchanan was going to kill it. The only challenge in that video was that it was hard to get the cap off the Buchanan's. I had to go get one of those little rubber things that help grab it because my hand kept slipping on it. But and finally it came off. And then I had trouble getting the whiskey to dribble out. I was just holding it directly, 90 degree angle, and it's wasn't coming out. Finally, it let the air got in some kind of way and it started coming out too much. And they got that tamper-proof ball in there. You can pour out, but you can't pour in. But it's so smoky and savory that Buchanan's. And this Chivas Regal is mostly just cereal grains. Now, later today, I was thinking about going to eat Italian food in Metairie. right by New Orleans. But I said, nah, I'll wait till next Thursday or next Tuesday or something. I still need to go to Fausto's, Andrea's, Impostata's, but Impostata's only has dinner, 5 p.m. till. I don't like to eat big meals that late, but I'm going to have to. I still got Tony Mandina's on the West Bank. They have lunch. And there's that place, Gattuso's or whatever, in Gretna. They have seafood and Italian. I kind of like to try that. I think it looked kind of overpriced, though. It's one of those cool places to go. So you're sort of paying the cool tax. Oh, well. And then the ultimate Mosca's on US Highway 90 in Avondale, close to the St. Charles Parish line, the famous or infamous Mosca's. Well, they only have dinner, too. I went there one night. It was so crowded. I said, there's no way I'll get a seat in an hour. And then once you get the seat and you order, you're looking at another hour to get the food because everything's handmade as soon as you order it. They don't prepare, pre-cook anything. And it's going to cost a fortune, It looks like a shack. When you see it, you say, that looks like some house that needs to be fixed up. It's got a gravel parking lot. But it's got like a Tazerac there, like in Doctor Who. You go inside and it's like this huge place. There's people everywhere. You'll see local newscasters, Saints, New Orleans Saints football coaches and players, Pelicans players, everybody that goes there. But it's an ordeal to really get in the joint. You got to make reservations. You can't just drop in. That's going to be a project. Don't think you'll see Bud Light Lime or the Ritas Straw-Ber-Rita served there. But you will see Bud Light served there. And at every other restaurant in the New Orleans area. Desert Drinkers made a long 17-minute video about Bud Light. I don't really like the long videos, but who am I to say that? Look at what I do. And he was making a very good video, and he was talking about, what is all the hate for Bud Light? Like, that is like a default. Very good hog said cheese on the crackers, by the way. So cheap. Consider what you get. But he said, why is it like a default position that people have to take that they hate it? Give it a 45 out of 100. 45 out of 100. I don't think you'd be able to drink it if it was 55% bad. Furthermore, it would go down and it'd come back. I just don't see that. Maybe Earthquake High Gravity might be a 45. But to me, that's an F. Any food product that's 55% bad, you can't eat it. You can't drink it, Like, how could you eat and drink such a thing? And then you look at their review sites and they give something like Straw-Ber-Rita a 3 out of 100 on rate beer. That would be like drinking poison. You're going to drink, okay, you say, it's a flavored malt beverage. It's a beer-based flavored cocktail. And I hate those, but you can hate them. I don't even like them. I'm defending them and I don't even like them necessarily. I really don't drink this kind of stuff. But you're going to give it a 3 out of 100. I'm sure. It's 97% terrible, but you're going to drink it. No one's going to drink that. No one would buy it. It would never sell. No store would accept it. Sorry. But for what it is, a flavored malt beverage concoction. And I was reading on Trader Joe's website. It's very interesting how they make these. Trader Joe's will sometimes have some interesting little things that maybe other companies won't talk about. And they had a like a lemon flavored, but it was no coloring added, so it was clear. They're always going to be clear with no color, or almost clear. Or if they're not clear, they'll be that gray color, silver gray, which might not appeal to you. You know, like the that's Smirnoff Ice, the original is like gray. Excuse me. Pepper got my nose. If you have stopped up nose and you eat that hot peppers, the hot smoked sauce, hot hog-head cheese with the hot sauce, they won't be stopped up for long. But this is all right for that. This in the world of flavored malt beverages, this is a real winner. Not that I'd ever want to drink it, and I'm not gonna go buy it again. I just don't. But I had a 12 pack. I said I'll put a video on the alternate channel. There's levels of production with beer, and one early level is wort. They say they take pale malt, this is a Trader Joe's, and they reach the wort, W-O-R-T stage, not wort, wort. And then they stop the process for the barley malt. It could be corn adjunct added to. And then they start almost like distilling it down to a clear, odorless, colorless liquid base. They said, think about along the lines of vodka, like a takabaka grain alcohol distilled down. Well, you wouldn't sell that because it would have no odor, no flavor, and it would just be cut with water down to 8 to 10%. Who would drink it? Nobody. Okay. So then they start building the flavors. They'll add the natural flavoring or artificial, depending on the company, or both. And then they will or they will not add coloring. That lemon, I can't remember the name of it. It was from Wisconsin, but that lemon production product, it was an interesting can. It had like a lemon tree on there, lemon bush with lemons everywhere. They could sell it like that and it'd be clear. Then you got all those seltzers. They call it seltzer because what's seltzer water? Clear and it's highly charged carbonation. That's those kind of beers. Or they'll start adding the coloring and the real fruity flavors, intense fruity flavors. Then you got your ready to drink canned or bottled, in this case, bottled cocktails, margarita type things. They're flavored beer. If you look at the disclosure on the Smirnoff and the Seagram's Escapes, you'll say flavored beer. But it's interesting that they use a malt base, a barley malt base, and they produce it to be like vodka. And I think what they're doing is that they're doing that to avoid strict laws in certain states where you can't have a vodka-based product. You'd only be able to sell it in a liquor store, not a beer store. So the way the United States companies got around that is they just use beer base, and it'd be 8%. Where in Canada, if you go to the Dominion of Canada, they'll take the same stuff, the Smirnoff Ice, red, white, and berry and all that, and it'll be vodka based. They don't use beer. They use vodka as their base, distilled grains. And it might taste exactly the same because you're using an odorless, colorless base. So that would be an interesting video if somebody took the Canadian version, vodka-based, and the American version, malt-based, barley malt-based, and they did a blind taste test, and they might not be able to tell them apart. Now, in the United States, there is a red, white, and berry Smirnoff vodka, as in the vodka bottle, 750 milliliter vodka bottle. And it's a flavored vodka. It's like 70 proof liqueur. Those would be called liqueurs. So you can buy that. I've seen it. I never bought it. I have no interest in that. But that might have some similarities to the Canadian variant. I don't know, but I suspect. What company developed the malt-based ready-to-drink canned bottle cocktails? I don't know. That would be an interesting research project for someone to do. Who started it? Was it Champale, which was an independent company until the 1970s? They just started making a bottled and canned champagne-like malt beverage. It was called flavored malt liquor. And I tried the seltzers, which were okay. Then I drank the Champale that I bought at Cash Saver in Memphis on US Highway 51 southbound. And I said, oh, I should have bought the rest. Oh, it probably would have been the similar taste. I bought the extra dry, Champale extra dry. And when I tasted it, I said, that's the seltzers. The White Claw, the Bon and Viv, all of that stuff. I said, but they've been around. Champale's been around since 1939. But for some reason, people lost that connection to it. And it was prominent in 1979. And then it became obscure in 2019, 40 years later. And now we have the people saying, oh, yeah, we're going to the pool party. We're going to the gender reveal party or whatever. And we drank in the White Claw. Oh. And I'm thinking, you could bought the Champale. Those 24-ounce bottles, and these are big bottles at Cash Saver, 24-ounce bottles, like $1.65 after the 10% add-on. You could just buy a bunch of them, for the party and just open up, start pouring them, tell people try it, They wouldn't know. I mean, it's you say, what? It's brown. Yeah, well, all they do is add caramel color. Simple. The White Claw, they add the flavor in, but they don't add the color in. With the Ritas Straw-Ber-Rita, for instance, they add the flavor in and the color in, which is red number 5 and the natural red, whatever they it's caramel color. Okay, caramel color and the red number 40, whatever. Certified colors. What that means is they're certified by the United States Food and Drug Administration as being a harmless coloring agent, food coloring agent. So really what they're saying is yellow number 5, red number 40. You have to give the disclosure that you're adding it. Like if you use yellow number 5, you have to disclose it. And I was reading about it's made from like turmeric, like some kind of spice, but it's like processed into yellow, but it's strange the way they do it. But the USDA determined that it's harmless. Like it's not going to hurt you. You say, I don't trust the government, which in itself is an interesting comment, because a lot of the left liberal people that will talk to me on the channel, they don't usually talk. They mostly attack, because the whole idea of discussion is like foreign to their mindset. Like, you don't discuss issues, you just scream about them and attack and do all of your typical stuff, But a lot of them are in kind of like the health food movement that goes back to the 70s, 60s. It's bad. Yellow number 5, red number 40. This is what corporate America is all about. And don't believe the government, the CIA, FBI, Nixon, blah, blah, blah. They go on and on and on and on. They want you to believe it's safe. You can't trust the government for food products. Yellow number 5 it'll make you die, and red number 40, And I say, okay. And then those same people will turn right around. If you look on Facebook, like right around, and they're bragging on why government-controlled healthcare is so good. We need a single-payer system. We need government healthcare so that you can have good government service healthcare. And I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, right? You just told me that you can't trust the government to believe that red number 40 is a harmless flavoring, a coloring agent. You just told me that. But now you're telling me, oh, well, when it comes to healthcare, you have to try. They should be the only people allowed to produce it or handle it, the government. So those kind of things, you could see a very terrible inconsistency with those people, because they're telling me on one hand, never trust the government. They'll sell poison in a bottle. It's yellow number 5. Then they'll say, trust the government. They can provide your health care, and they can make sure that you're paid the right amount at work, and they can regulate your company, and they can regulate public school systems because they know what's right. They can't make sure that food coloring is safe. They can make sure that you are safe when it comes to crime, because they don't ever believe in private ownership of defensive weapons. So, and they get angry when I point these out. If I point that out on social media like Facebook, I say, well, you just said, and then they start screaming Nazi, racist. It's like, well, you could scream all these terms. You could do that. It doesn't matter to me. But that doesn't support your argument, and it doesn't support your inconsistency of telling me don't trust the government / trust the government. You know, you can't have it both ways. If I'm being told repeatedly that this entity is extremely conspiratorial and evil, and then you're telling me this entity is extremely trustworthy and you should put your physical safety in their hands, then there's a problem. And they will not address it. All they say is, I'm blocking you. Well, of course you have to block me. Because you can't answer you can't answer what is apparent. Makes sense, right? But I do not now, nor have I ever felt bad or had a forlorn or downtrodden attitude for pointing out glaring inconsistencies. I've never had that problem. I have to. You have to do it. You have to face the music, no matter what tune they're playing. So the Bud Light, or formerly Bud Light Straw-Ber-Rita, would I endorse it? I would not endorse it. I wouldn't recommend it. It's probably not a good idea to be consuming major amounts of food coloring every day. At the end of the day, it probably won't really hurt you. MTV, it probably hurt you more than this, but or The View. But I mean, if you want to try it, it's probably okay. But I drank it. I'm doing the video. It exists. I don't hate it. I hate some of the conceptuality about it. In fact, but that would be me having a hang up, because you would say, well, what's wrong with adding flavor into beer? Why do you have this fixation on that? And then I would have to say, you're right. There is no real reason to have that fixation. So anyway, thanks. And then we'll be back in a couple of hours or less, or on the main channel with the rum. I got to check to see what's the next in the lineup. Oh man, I'd be so glad when I'm finished with all these rums. Do I dislike them? No, I do not. Do I want to keep drinking them? No, I do not. Will I be glad when I'm finished with them? Yes, I will.